Hi, welcome to Light the Music class, session 2, Create. I'm Steve Van Dam with Light the Music, and I believe that music is magic. Music has the ability to make you cry at that certain part of the movie when this kind of music plays. Or, at that other part of the movie, music makes you feel like you have superpowers. You know what I'm talking about. And you might not know this, but when you are making music, your brain is more active than any other activity that you can possibly do. So let's start with a question. What is visual music? If you can imagine, what would be visual representations of music? Hit pause and think about that for a second. Alright, did you get some ideas? Maybe you thought of music videos, or the visualizer on a car stereo, or music notation. There's lots of different ways that we can see music, even somebody performing an instrument. There's another way too. This, of course, is the ORO Visual Music app, where visuals and sounds combine to make music. And this is where we can empower you to be creative. And that's what we're going to talk about today, creativity. So, what is creativity? If you guessed that creativity is using your imagination to make something, then you're absolutely right. So for instance, I can think something up in my head and then do it on the screen like this. I just had that thought and then boom, there it is. And that is this superpower that you can have using this app to make music. Now, let's talk about intention. Any guesses on what intention is? If you guessed doing something on purpose, you nailed it. Intention is the difference between this and this. Now, both of them are really effective for being creative. Sometimes you can do something intentional, like you hear it, like this for instance. And other times, you can just go nuts, like this. Now the app helps you make music by taking intentional and not intentional actions and turning them all into music. And that's what the most important lesson that I can teach you today is. Be really aware of mistakes versus happy accidents. A mistake is something that you do and you're like, whoops, I just messed up. Now a happy accident is something that you do and you're like, whoops, wait a second, that's awesome. So if you've got the app going, and let's say you go, so now I was trying to play a little bit of Beethoven there, Ode to Joy, but it didn't come out quite right. Let me turn it up just a little bit. But maybe even if that's not Ode to Joy, that's perfectly fine for starting to make music. So if I go like this, then let's see what that turns into. See how this works? Take each mistake and turn that into something good. Now, if we're going to be creative, we should also explore all the instruments way down here. Did you see how I did that? Just slide your finger and then that scrolls this whole other set. And let's mess around with this one. And I think I want to get the percussion out of the way a little bit for a second. So each time you do something, just listen for a second and see if you like it or not. If you like it, then you're on the right path. If you don't like something, you can just clear that instrument. Select the instrument and then hit instrument clear. Poof. Try something else. And on you go. So that's the learning. Now, to the making. The challenge for today is called Make Something Terrible. So the idea is to just let your creativity go crazy, right? It's really fun. Just make the worst possible thing that you can possibly make. So I'm going to go like this. And then I'm going to go, oops, then I'm going to turn the loop on. And I'm going to do that again. And then, I kind of like this circle idea, so I'm going to go crazy with this one. And I'm just going to keep doing that with all these instruments. Until I end up with this crazy thing. So keep messing around and see what's the most terrible thing that you can possibly make. And then that brings us to the second challenge. The second challenge is the positive feedback challenge. So now you've got to find somebody else and play this most terrible thing that you've ever made in your whole life thing for them, and their challenge is to say something positive about it, all right? So I could play this for you. And you could say, wow, that looks like you're flying through space. That's pretty cool. I really like what you did with the visuals there. Now the trick with the positive feedback challenge is that you have to say something that actually applies to the visual music that somebody's made, right? And then after you're done, you can switch. So then they can make something and make it the most terrible thing that they've ever made in their whole lives, and then you can give them positive feedback about that. Got it? All right, have fun. Thanks a lot for being with us for session 2. We'll see you in session 3. That's next, and we're going to talk about how to take something and make it better. You made it to the end. Now, make something terrible, share it with somebody. Can they give you positive feedback? Now switch. They make something and you praise. Capture this and share it on Flipgrid. Sharing option A is screen record. Make an ORO, use your device to screen record it, and then upload it to Flipgrid. Option B sharing is make an ORO and rehearse what you want to record, have someone else use a second device to record this video, and then upload that video to Flipgrid. Have fun!